Dad Pod?
Just a video thing as well.
Have a name.
Podcast?
Midlife crisis.
Paddy Daddy.
Midlife crisis.
DADCAST?
That's not bad, actually, yeah.
A lot of dad dancing going on here. How are you doing? Welcome along to this week's episode of the DADCAST. As I take out my chewing gum, a classy move there.
It's still in your hand. You can see it on screen.
No, you can't.
In the mouth.
I just took it out of my mouth. What are you talking about? It's my chewing gum. It's like there's nothing wrong with that.
What a disgusting start to the podcast.
Wow.
Well, it can only be downhill from here.
Well, there's no real standards of hygiene when you have young children, I guess.
Exactly. How long can something be on the floor for before you won't eat it? I would say a day.
That's what it is. It's a piece of broccoli. It'll be there for a month. It's a bit of chocolate. 4 seconds.
Oh, well, the 10-month-old is like 100 miles an hour crawling around the place trying to walk. So every little bit of food that could be there for, a couple of days, I won't say much longer because my wife will be like, don't be saying that our kitchen floor isn't clean all the time.
Here, we have kids.
But I'd spot her in the corner and there'd be, she'd be right into the corner, a little bit of cheese would come up and she'd be delighted with life. You're like,
well, we know the Gilroy's floor, it's every floor in there is spotless.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a shoe-free zone.
A shoe-free zone, yeah. It's, yeah. The outdoors, I was eating outdoors a little bit, and the 3-year-old found a bit of rice that had been there a day or two, straight in. Wow.
That's not want not.
I mean, come on.
As long as it's
hard and crispy, and who knows, there could have been a cat, there could have been anything out in that back garden at night.
Cat, that's the worst of fear, is a cat.
In our back garden, yeah.
Pissing,
There could be rats and mice and all sorts of other undesirables.
Yeah, there could be. I mean, there's no rats, Dave.
Well, I've had a giant rat in my garden about 2 months ago.
Right. Just sitting there, fat belly, happy as
Scurrying around
Larry.
the place, looking at me through the window.
What you do?
Kept an eye on him to see what rat hole he might disappear down, and got a giant flower pot, placed it over that hole. We haven't seen anyone since.
Right.
I said, I've been here, we've been there about 13 or 14 years. I will give the rat population in general the benefit of the doubt on this one. So one viewing, I'm happy just to do nothing about it. If I see a second, that's when I have to get the professionals in. And it was just so once off, I hope.
Right, okay. Okay, it's a good start to this week's DADCAST. How's the potty training going? Finished?
I'm almost afraid to say the words out loud. But, we're done.
Right,
it has been a fairy tale the last 10 days, 2 weeks. Today's would be day 17.
I'm in two minds, right? So, we're going through this too. It turns out summertime, the whole country is going through a bit of potty training. Certainly anybody with 3-year-olds or 2.5-year-olds. I'm going to have to bring it to the toilet from now on, and whenever we go out, we're going to have to make sure he goes to the toilet before we go anywhere. It just adds an extra hour to your day. The benefit of having a nappy on is that you don't have to worry about any of this stuff ever. I'm going to lament the passing of the nappy stage.
It depends how quickly he picks it up. I haven't lamented it at any stage over the last 2 weeks. I haven't changed a nappy since Tuesday of 2 weeks ago. And every day I thank whoever the powers that be up there that I don't have to do it.
Who controls your child's ass?
What?
Is there a God? You're saying
no
there's
nappy
no God?
changing. I haven't had to change a shitty nappy the first time in 4.5 years.
Right, so he's going to the toilet properly.
He doesn't even tell us. We're already at that stage. We're so unbelievably proud of him. All I hear could be a random roar from some bathroom in the house.
Wipe my bum!
Daddy! Poo! I'm just going, he's gone again. It's unbelievable. And finishes every day with a little dump.
That's a good routine to get into.
Yeah, he loves the potty.
Right.
But then he spotted his brother standing up doing a wee the other day and thought, I'll have a bit of that. And now he wants to stand on the potty and wee into it. He's not quite tall enough to be able to stand at the toilet. But
right. Even with
no, I really there was one night where myself, before we fell asleep, myself and my wife were kind of going, we really are great parents. But I kind of
again.
I checked.
Let's go again.
Come on, the old charmer.
We checked ourselves and we said, no, 100% of the credit goes to the little dude on this.
Get on board.
He deserves all the credit because he's just picked it up incredibly well. Look, there's two major reasons when you're looking at differences to the first time. So if there's anybody out there that is about to dive into this for the second time, we made some really poor errors of judgment first time around. And the first fella didn't have anyone to inspire him. And those two things together have made a massive difference this time around. So he deserves all the credit. His big brother does as well, because he's useless when it comes to guidance as to what way I should handle it. But now, like, Nicky might say, what was your man like when he was going through this first? Which is like 18 months ago.
Yeah,
no memory.
Absolutely no recollection.
Perfectly fine. I don't remember it being a stressful situation at all. I don't remember us killing each other for months.
Parents have no ability to retain memories of patterns or time spans, or it's just, we lose it very quickly. I think I would like them to be able to go out on the road and play when they're 6 and 7, but even then, like, I just wouldn't be comfortable. And they've been in the house knowing that they're running around, there's cars around, and
yeah.
See, we're lucky. We're in sort of a almost in a close, with the green in front, so they literally
is it
just
a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, so there's literally just a
okay. So cars can't go in from both ends.
No,
there's like a road that you can go that way or you can go the other way. So there's cars coming both ways. Now there's vicious ramps, which definitely has taken care of any speeding in the estate. Like, they take the undercarriage off the car pretty quickly.
Right.
And there aren't that many cars. But now maybe when they're 6 and 7, they're looking both ways before they run after a ball onto the road or whatever. But I don't know. I'm a long way off being happy enough to see them on the street. A long way away. I know long before I'm in that place, they're going to be coming to me asking why they're not let out.
But because there was a school of thought that you should be sending your 7-year-old around to the shop for milk.
Jesus Christ, no.
All right.
Like, whose school was this?
I read it on the internet today. I can't even remember. It's like, I'm like John Horan. I heard this thing one time. I can't remember. I won't stand over it.
God, I hope John doesn't listen to this podcast.
That's exactly what he said. Come here. Would you send your 7-year-old? I probably wouldn't.
I don't think I was allowed to go anywhere when I was 7.
I'd say you could have got on your bike at 7 and cycled down to your mate's house. I know I did. And I would have gone down to the tennis club for the day. Maybe not at 7.
Not at 7, no way. 10.
No, 10, I'd say, yeah.
Now, at 7 in my estate, I would have wandered around the estate knocking on my friends' doors.
No, 7 you're in second class. You're going into second class. Maybe not.
I wasn't allowed to walk to school on my own. I'd say in second class.
I wouldn't have been allowed to walk to school, but I would have been allowed to cycle down to my mates and disappear for the day.
Right, you had a country upbringing though, didn't you?
Yeah, like a mile outside the town.
Yeah.
Not that country. I mean, there was a field behind us and a field in front of us, so...
there's no way I'd be astonished now if I was to again put that to my parents and they were to tell me, 7, you were grand. I really don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it was 7.
I'd love to get our listeners, maybe before we can go through some of their correspondence in next week's pod, just to give us an idea as to what the general school of thought is on this. Every parent's going to be different, obviously. Every child is going to have different levels of maturity. Everyone's living circumstances are different. But 7... I wouldn't mind knowing they were just on the road in front of me kicking the ball around. But
our road's too busy.
But you see, if you're in the house, unless you're looking directly through your kitchen window out onto the street, you don't know where they are.
No.
And my parents have this, rose-tinted glasses type memory in their minds of our childhoods where they knew where we were all the time. When, in actual fact, they didn't really. They thought we were in place A when we were probably in place B and C, just because they couldn't see us.
But you probably weren't getting up to all sorts until you were at least 14 or 15.
No, we weren't. Not at all. Like,
then at 14 and 15 you were getting up to all sorts.
You might be drinking a few cans, but like,
and you don't want to be
major.
thinking about that.
No,
that's coming down the tracks for you pretty soon.
They never had to answer the door to the guards.
Well, that's
it's a low bar.
Really? Is that not all you want? For kids to stay out of trouble and not upset anyone else.
Just because the guards don't know about it doesn't mean you haven't been doing it.
Yeah, but like, my parents probably would have been horrified to think that I was down a laneway half a mile away drinking cans at the age of 16, 15. But I was.
They probably knew.
No, I don't think they did. And I don't want I'd rather my lads were in the house drinking a couple of cans. But sure, where's the crack for them in that?
Yeah, 0.
Well, probably more than...
What are you doing this Saturday night? I'm sitting down to have 2 cans with me dad.
Well, no.
Watching Match of the Day.
Well, but what they're thinking is, I'll sit down and have 2 cans of my dad watching Match of the Day because there's 2 free cans I've gotten. Then I'll head out with me mate straight after
my nagging.
and I'll rob the other. Hopefully he'll fall asleep. I'll rob the rest of them and I'll head out with the lads.
There was one night last week, and we had got up to loads of stuff during the day. We brought Clonfert Pet Farm. If we have time today, I can do a review of that. That place is the bomb.
Where's that?
Just outside Maynooth. And we'll come back to that. But one night, I myself and my wife, we were wrecked. About 8 o'clock, just about, we were getting ready to put them into bed. I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit the hay as soon as they're down. The two of us were in bed by 8:30. And I said to her, like, there's going to come a time very soon that they are not going to want to be in bed at 8:30. Like, you have to stay up until your kid's in bed, don't you?
No. Oh, yeah, you do. Well,
when they're 5 or 6, so there will be nights where I want to be in bed before them.
yeah, but that's fine. You still look,
I can't trust them to go to bed themselves.
there are nights when it's like bedtime gets brought forward because they're just being such assholes. You're like, everybody is going to bed and they don't really know what time it is. They look at the clock and they go, that seems a bit early. But no, it's late.
But it's still daytime out, which clearly looks like at the moment. We have blackout curtains. We tuck the curtains in under the bed so they don't flap in the air and bring some sunlight into the room. But they're still looking at the window going, hang on, how can you possibly be putting us to bed at this time? Because it's 10:10. That's why.
Basically, our entire house had eye masks on more than nights. Like, this is a little bit, seems a bit odd. But anyway, Clonfert Pet Farm.
Right, if you're looking for something where to bring the kids for a day or just a few hours, it was €15 for the 4 of us. So that's 2 adults, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. It was last Thursday, was it? Yeah, 8 days ago. And it has a proper sized bounty castle. So like, they can go in and just be in there for as long as they want. It's got a mini Funky Monkey type indoor playhouse.
Okay.
It has a playground outdoors. It has all the animals like sheep, goats, rabbits, hamsters, for all these different types of chickens, turkeys. There's a peacock that just rambles around the place.
Yeah, peacocks
Lads
are great.
chasing the peacock around. Has a little unbelievably good crazy golf course, which is just like an additional €2 I had to play.
All right.
Has loads of picnic tables, these lovely little cabins where you can imagine there's barbecues going on in the evenings, and it was so nice out, like there was no need to go in there, but different places for you to go in and have your lunch or whatever. It has a sand pit, which the lads absolutely loved.
So you can spend the whole day, basically.
You could spend the whole day there. We spent about 4 hours there, and then there's like the 40-minute drive there, 40-minute drive
That's
back.
the whole day.
Like, it's as good as we've been to a lot of these places like Newbridge Farm and.
Let's not do down other farms here, Dave.
No, they're all good. They all pass the day, but this I think was
Dave's thinking, oh, that one's close to my house. I might get some freebies.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. Well, Newbridge couldn't be further from your house.
No, Newbridge couldn't be. I have been to Newbridge, which is very good as well.
It is very good. I've been there a few times. The Newbridge is a proper farm in that it's far more expansive. There are actual meadows and fields, and you take a good walk around and you can see the animals. Where this is more a pen type.
We saw a pig eat its own shit at Newbridge. And my child still goes, yeah.
Pigs may also eat their own shit at other outdoor farms.
He literally-
we don't talk down Newbridge again.
No, it's great. It's actually a brilliant day out. Vietnamese potbelly pig.
We went to Explorium last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Which
Very
is
good.
what and where?
Yeah.
No, I paid in, Jer.
All right, okay.
I paid in. The look in his face was, got a freebie. I 100% paid in.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of difference. We only did the junior section, so our kids, I think, are probably just a year or two too young for the science bit, which I think is the biggest part of it, where you can go around in this huge sort of hamster wheel on a bike, and you're strapped in, so you're upside down on the giant hamster wheel. But I think that's sort of for the older kids. But again, like 3 hours, very sciencey, a lot of cool technology that they get to play with.
Where is it?
It was very close to me, but how would you describe where it is? Do you know Lamb Doyle's pub up the Dublin Mountains? So it'd be Rathfarnham technically, I guess. Lamb Doyle's pub is sort of between Rathfarnham and Stepaside, going over the mountains.
We'll
so
find
it's
it.
right up there.
What's the
Huge.
youngest age you would recommend your kids going?
4 or 5 year olds would love it.
Would they?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is it?
Not that cheap.
50 quid?
No, I think, actually, sorry, for the junior one, if you go during the week, I'm fairly sure actually maybe it was parents, I'm doing them a disservice here. I think during the week parents are free. and kids are 12 quid.
It's Sandyford. That's what I thought it was.
Sandy, I don't know. Is that Sandyford?
Look, it's on the south side anyway.
That's what their website
You can
says.
find the internet.
Maybe that's the address. Anyways, it's overlooking the city up the Dublin Mountains.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, a lot of
You ever been to
recommendations. coming
Imaginosity?
through. I wasn't, but the lads were.
Yeah, so it's that wanting to do down Imaginosity. It's like a newer version of that. A newer, bigger version of that.
Well, like any of these
A really
places,
nice cafe, which I always find is a
Important.
key part to all
a
this.
very nice cafe in Clonfert as well, which I forgot to mention.
Yeah, they've loads of cool stuff. Like they've this giant wall that looks like an aquarium, a digital wall.
Junior
and-
Explorium adult a £5. Junior Explorium child 12 quid.
But during the week, I think the adults go free.
All right.
But so they've this giant digital wall that looks like an aquarium, and the kids get a picture of a fish and they colour it in, and you put it into this machine and it zaps it, and your fish appears in the
Oh wow, they must love that.
aquarium in the wall.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was tempted to write something
What were you tempted to
just for the
write?
crack.
Or just draw a big Mickey. Giant penis fish.
He meant when he said write something, he was thinking of Giant Mickey.
Oh,
walk
look,
out the
kids,
door.
it's a giant penis fish. Aren't you proud of Daddy?
It's prehistoric.
Draws great penises. You can do that now in your house.
Fun for all the family.
It is. Yeah. Who doesn't like a good crudely drawn penis?
Man arrested.
So summer's going well in the Murphy household.
Well, it's going well for me. I've been down at the golf for the last 2 days.
Yeah, as your
The kids have
the
been at
colour
camp.
on your nose, and Farah
Yes.
tells us today.
Yeah.
And your summer was going fine until they went into summer camp.
Yeah, they've been
They're
absolutely
just
creep
ratty.
knackered every night coming home, and there's been a lot of tantrums. I've been that parent closing all the windows so the neighbours can't hear the screaming and the tantrums. It's like, you know how depressing that is. You're like, I'm just going to have to go close this one into the back.
So how are you?
Close.
Next week will be the first big test. No camp. Nothing really planned. What are we going to do?
And you've got 2 full days at home, obviously, on your
No, my
Debbie's
wife's
home
there
as well.
first, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
On a Monday and Tuesday, yeah.
I've spoken a lot over the last few weeks on how to handle these sort of disciplinary issues and tantrums. How are you finding you are doing in these situations?
Mediocre at best, I would say.
Which means what? Paint the picture.
Well, there's just no. So the tantrums are extreme tantrums, right?
Right.
Like, there's not much you can do, I mean,
Well, as long as they're not belting the head off each other,
no, they're not.
then the tantrum, it's just like a storm. You can ride it out.
There was a couple of times where we put one of them to bed with no story, which never happens, and that like proper punishment and no treats, even though everybody else is getting treats. Slamming doors. So like, I don't know if all parents have this, but I certainly have envisaged 1,000 different ways that I've ended up in hospital that haven't happened, and one of them is a finger dangling because someone slams the doors. And I visualize this. I have this, like, I get haunted by visualizations of my own death. It used to be my own death until I had children, and now it's their death.
Now it's slamming doors.
That is grim.
It's just a thing I've always had. It's like, I'm going to... Now it's like slamming doors. So we had a long sit-down chat about slamming doors, and then 3 hours later, the front door. Now, the back door was open in mitigating circumstances, but I was like, right, okay. So no treats. And unfortunately, everybody else had... we'd had multiple gingerbread men brought. So the house was festooned with crap, and everybody was having crap except the door slammer.
Oof.
So that was like a whole day of but you slammed the door, and that's why you can't have the thing. And like, now, I didn't break, but I did see him eating some. I did see him eating some. I was like, I mean, come on! Come on!
Oh my God, he's hung her out to dry here.
Well, I got her to try. I'm like, come on. And of course, he's like dancing around.
In your face.
Man. I get some gingerbread man. I'm like, okay.
In your face, Dad.
So,
Are you sure the wind didn't just catch the door if the back door was open and maybe you overreacted?
Oh, no, he absolutely slammed the door. He was giving excellent.
Sorry, how old is he? He's
3.
He's your youngest.
Yeah.
He's door slamming.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I suppose our fella was door slamming at 3, all right, yeah.
It hasn't happened since, because that night there
It
was
was serious punishment.
Yeah.
But surely he forgets that.
No, because I think there's like they remember all sorts of weird shit. He remembers the pig eating this shit, and
he's gone to bed now without a story, without a treat. TV's been shut off. He's had to sit there and watch his brother watching a movie that he wasn't allowed to watch, and he's like gutted, and it's apologies left, right and centre, but next day forgotten about it.
As if it never happened.
As if it never happened.
yeah. The 4-year-old's more tricky because she remembers everything, and she's like, "You're being mean." I'm like, "I'm not being mean. I can't even remember what she did now. It was something bad anyway." I can't.
The middle lad has started on the "you're being mean." He's hard done by. This is his thing now.
Yeah.
Constantly, how hard done by he is. No, it's just not fair. This never happens to anyone else. This never happens to anyone else in this house. I'm the only one that ever has to do this.
But you're the only asshole.
Stop
You can't say it.
wrecking my head as much. Like, that's because your brother and sister are perfectly reasonable individuals. You're the only nut job in this house.
No, can you say
Didn't
that?
stop wrecking my head as much. Like, that's just all I want from my kids is just to stop annoying me. Can they not just stop annoying me?
There was actually a point where we were like, "You're just going to have to leave us both alone now." We were sitting out the back in the sunshine. It was like, they kept coming out, "You're just going to have to leave us alone now. We just need a little bit of space." And they did, in fairness, take that that was quietly, they were like, "Okay, that's a bit weird. I'm only 7 and you're telling me this, but I'm going to walk away now."
Well, I have told them, one fella, he's like, if this continues, like, you're probably going to have to go and live somewhere else.
or worse, I'm going to go and live somewhere else. And I'm going to leave you behind, and it'll be very expensive for you to work this out with some stranger on a couch, and she'll be charging you $500 an hour, and she won't be doing anything for it other than listening.
But I'd ask the question, I'd be like, do you like living with your mommy and your little brother and me? And they'd be like, yeah. Okay, well,
It's not going to last.
I can't live with someone that does whatever he may have done.
I can't even remember.
I can't live with someone who does that. So either I move out, or you just make your decision if you want to live here and not do things like that, or go somewhere else and you can do whatever you want. And I did get him to actually stop and think. I was like, imagine what it would be like to live somewhere else. It wouldn't be as much fun. Who would read the stories? Do you know? Who'd give you your breakfast?
You should bring him round and kind of show him some...
Other houses.
Yeah. Or like the streets. Do you want that man to read your stories?
Danny, the Champion of the World was finished last night.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't
Took
it?
about 5 months. About 3 pages a night.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's enough.
I'd forgotten about the wonder that is that book.
Yeah, it's class.
It is just a phenomenon. His dad's a ledge ball, despite the fact that he's breaking laws left, right and centre and
I know,
probably
but
should be in jail.
They're good. They're bad laws.
And you know, the wee man has a deep hatred of Mr. Victor Hazel, the owner of the wood,
Great.
the guy who wanted all the pheasants shot. But like he does come across some kind of a hero where, you know, all these pheasants were just going to get shot. But all he was doing was drugging them to death, and he was going to cook them up in his little oven anyway. So it's a bit hypocritical, but I still think he's great.
Does he not? When he drugs them, they all recover and they all fly away again.
Yeah, but that was not his plan.
He was going to eat them all.
Yeah, no, he was going to take about 6 for himself, and he was going to divide them up around across the people he had time for, the local police sergeant.
Oh yeah, well they all get
Doctor,
they all
his
get-
missus.
Yeah, get
Remember
free
Danny,
food.
Champion of the World.
The pheasants. He poisons the pheasants.
Well, he doesn't poison them.
He
but
drugs them to
drugs
sleep.
them with sleeping tablets.
Yeah,
And
ruins the guy's shoot.
And
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's
Desert Fox is about a fox who takes on the local 3 farmers.
Yeah.
yeah, but so we're on to
They drink a
Matilda
lot of
now.
cider.
One of them does. In Fantastic Mr. Fox, one of them is addicted to cider. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it sounds like a good lifestyle. The farmer's lifestyle sounded pretty good.
But yeah, Matilda's next on the list. We're about a few pages into that now.
Matilda's a little bit scary.
Well, the movie has already been watched, so he knows what's coming.
Okay, well, that's all right then.
He won't be as scared by Mrs. Trunchbull now because he knows he's seen it actually on the big screen. So it's all good.
I met a DADCAST listener. I met several DADCAST listeners down at the golf. One of whom, though, who we know, who I'll tell you who it was afterwards, a female listener, said, "I've just started listening to your DADCAST. I listened to some of them on the way down." And for some reason, I presume she started at the beginning, but no, she's listened to the most recent. She's like, "I was laughing at your scheduling sex one. this was in front of a few people. And I'm like, it's like we didn't actually discuss that though. Joe Malloy's ears pricked up. He's like, what's this?
Oh, I thought Joe was obviously not a listener.
No, just like, I'm gonna start listening to this. Like, yeah, I just.
You can get yourself into a spot of bother now, all right, by people listening to just little tiny snippets of it, taking certain stories out of context and then flinging them back at you in a public forum.
Has that happened?
It's happened a couple of times, yeah.
What, like the scheduling sex?
No, not that one, but
But that conversation never even happened.
Well,
stuff is being fed back to my wife now, though.
oh,
Yeah,
happy
like-
days.
I saw the contents of your fridge last week.
Really? When did this happen?
Last week's pod when I was doing
I
it
missed it.
live from the
Okay.
potty training base camp.
Good of you to listen, Nathan.
And there were literally live updates as ones
Right.
and twos were being dropped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's look, we're happy just to pull down the editorial curtain and give people an insight into what the
How the
DADCAST
sausage is
life
made.
is like. Exactly. On the potty training before, Enda McGinley, who's obviously a regular contributor to Off the Ball's GA coverage, he texted me to say I met up with the Ulster final, big fan of the podcast. He says, well, Dave, look up the Poo Poo song by The Trees. Did you mention this before?
Poo-poo.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta do poo-poo.
He says it's great for the old potty training.
Yeah.
Now, that was sent to me kind of after we were finished.
Trying to remember the words. It's yeah. I mean, apparently fear of shitting in the toilet is a real thing that some kids actually have, and you need to be careful about it.
It's a proper disease.
Yeah. Well, not a disease, just they're worried that they're going to get sucked down, or that some important part of them is being left behind. Because when you think about it, it's been wrapped up the entire time,
Yeah.
hidden, and now suddenly it's like, hang on a second.
I think he feels that every time he sits on the potty, he needs to do poo. Because
Whereas
I think
as
he
he'll
loves
discover,
doing them.
as he'll discover as he gets older, sometimes you just want to sit there for a bit of peace and quiet.
at this stage, I'm expecting to see him walk around with the newspaper under his arm.
Yeah. I'll see you in a few minutes, lads.
Poo 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 poo. Everybody has to go poo 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 all day long. Don't be afraid of the big white bowl with the water in the middle at the bottom. There's a hole. Flush in, the water goes round and round, and all the poo poo deep goes down. Poo 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 poo.
Imagine the guy who wrote that.
Well, he might
Where
be
do you
rich.
get to in your life that you
I
go
was probably a desperate father or mother.
at 4 a.m. in the going, I've just lost my mind.
600 million plays on YouTube later,
Wow.
and you've made a cent for every 100 million. You get at least €6 at the end of that. Right.
Well, there you go.
No more bits of advice to glean from this week.
We need to get a DADCAST definitive list of places to bring your kids.
Oh, yeah.
During the summer.
Thrown a few out there
We've
now
got a
over the
couple
last
now. Yeah.
couple of
I
weeks.
haven't been to that one, so.
Clonfert Pet Farm, absolutely, and it's in this beautiful countryside. Like, it's off the main motorway out towards Maynooth, but it's once you head off the motorway, you're driving through lanes and fields. It's
Right.
a good 15-20 minutes off the beaten track, so couldn't recommend it highly enough. Great way to kill a day. We're definitely going back.
All right, you can give us now a review there on iTunes if you're an Apple user, and you can also let your buddies know about the DADCAST at DADCASTPod on Twitter, or dadcast at offtheball.com for your correspondence. We'll deal with some of your correspondence to get some of your advice about good places to spend a day on next week's show. Good luck.